Welcome, everyone, to another Up the Waterfall with your hosts, Zanna and Scott Otis.
Hello.
This is our second audio-only episode, which is exciting and new for us since we've been back. And
That's right.
yeah, we're just going to, it's just going to be a casual conversation.
Absolutely.
What's new with you? Did you do anything fun today?
Wait, today?
Yeah.
I mean, I took a little backstage tour. Does that count as fun?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got to experience the backstage of Star Tours.
Wow.
Over at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
The adventure continues, or the adventures continue.
It is The Adventures Continue.
Okay. I could never
There's
remember.
so many adventures.
There really are. And they just keep adding them.
And I'll get to that. Yeah, so I got to take a backstage tour, which I'd never done of that. I've honestly, where I work, I've had the opportunity to take many backstage tours, but we've been doing quite a few lately.
Show off.
No, I'm not trying to show off, but I've had the fortune of being able to see things like Space Mountain, Spaceship Earth, American Adventure, the old Great Movie Ride,
Wow.
and now the new Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Big Thunder Mountain. Lots and lots of ones. But anyway, today I got to see Star Tours backstage, and it was really cool. And I got to had a couple of fantastic cast members that work there show me around, and they took me. Let's see, I got in the entry area where there's a couple of Admiral Akbar guys up there. I got to go in there and say hello to those fellas.
Did he tell you it was a trap?
No, because that is not Admiral Akbar.
Oh. Well, you just said Admiral Akbar, guys.
I don't know their names,
Oh, yeah.
but
they're not all the same.
they're not all the same.
That's right, because who's the guy in Rise of the Resistance? Nine-Eye or something. Oh, no, wait. Nine-Eye's the other one that's driving.
Nine-Eye is from Timekeeper.
Yeah.
Well, they call him something that sounds like that.
It's
I don't know what he's
Nien
saying.
Nunb.
Nien Nunb. Who knows? I mean, he's a squid that's
yeah,
talking.
that's the thing.
You
I
can't
don't-
really
That's
understand
the
him.
one that's like weird fish looking.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm
I
very.
guess they all look like
I
fish.
don't
kinda
know
do.
names, and I don't know species.
Okay,
or
if you're listening, can you please let us know the species of
I can look it up.
Admiral
and also,
Akbar?
I mean, I don't want to get too technical here, and I'm sure exactly half of you will disagree with this, but the tour guides, they kept calling the things that are outside of Star Tours AT-AT walkers.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no, those are AT-AT walkers.
George-
But I know half of you are like, no, it's AT-AT. I say it's AT-AT.
George Lucas says they're AT-AT also.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
pretty sure.
Anyway,
Don't quote me on that.
the whole thing was made back when the original Disney MGM Studios was a studios park, and so it wasn't meant, it was meant to be like a backstage thing, and so that's why, from one side they look genuine, but if you look on their backsides, you'll see, the lights and the rigging and all of that.
It's really one of the very few places like
Yeah.
that anymore.
And
Are
so-
there other places that are still like that?
Well,
a few.
technically, sci-fi, when you walk in,
Absolutely.
you know that they're showing you that it's like a set versus, which is weird when you think about it, because it doesn't look like they're filming a movie in the restaurant. But
And of course, Indiana Jones, the epic stunt
Oh, yeah,
spectacular is
that
that
too.
way. So a lot of that corner is still
Yeah.
that way. But anyway, I did get a chance to see that. I got to actually go. I got to look into the Star Speeder that is in the queue area.
wow,
Got to-
really?
Yeah, I got to
That's
go
a
behind
thing?
there.
Wow.
Yeah, it is pretty neat.
Did you get to figure out how they pick the rebel spy?
I did.
Is that like a trade secret and you
It
can't
is
tell
kind
us?
of a trade secret.
you don't have to
It's
tell us
fairly
that.
random. But I've always tried to become the rebel spy, and just by always looking up,
Yeah.
and hopefully whoever
Not
chooses
wearing your glasses.
right. But I now know when to do that. But it's
Oh.
still all very, very random.
So we have to ride with you then and see what you're doing and do that.
That's right. And even today, when at the end of all of this, I got to ride it, and I was one of 3 people on the ride, and I was still not the rebel spy.
Aw.
I
Was
still
there a
have never
child
been
with
there.
you?
No, it was just me and 2 others. I was with, it was a group of 6 of us, and 3 of them actually had motion sickness issues and didn't want, they chose to not ride.
Wow.
So there were only 3 of us that rode.
That's one of the few things like that I can do and I have no problems, no issues with at all. I mean, I couldn't do it like maybe 2 times in a row. That would be a bit much, but
Yeah, I mean, I would do it many, many times in a row. But
That's true.
actually today, I actually got a headache at like maybe an hour afterwards.
Wow.
So maybe my age is getting the better of me.
no.
But anyway, here's another fun thing that I got to do. After the first room where you see C-3PO and R2-D2 with the Star Speeder, when you go into the next room where they have, the Captain Rex, that area, I actually got to go down on the floor there and poke around
Whoa.
and look at all the luggage that was all strewn about and where the droids are.
Did you bring anything good home?
Well, they presented me with a luggage tag, a magnet that you would see on the it's similar to the luggage tags you would see in the luggage in that.
It's a
room.
magnet?
It's a magnet.
Wow. He
Yeah.
did show me this earlier today. I didn't realize it was a magnet.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
So and then of course they showed how the Star Speeders work. We didn't get to go into the room while they were actually operating because that's against protocol. That's not
putting
safe.
safety first.
But they did show there was like a window looking into it with the lights on, and you
can
can see
make
how
sure it isn't catching on fire or something?
No, it's absolutely insane how
how much it moves?
how
Yeah.
much it moves, how far back it goes, how far down it goes. It is incredible.
Wow.
I really want to see
It
that
is
at some point.
absolutely bonkers, and wow. And so anybody who might have had motion sickness issues, if they were to see that, they might say, "Whoa,
That's
maybe that's
interesting.
not for me."
Wow.
But it's very cool. So that's a fun thing I got to do today.
Did we find out the species of...
He's Mon Calamari.
Oh, that's right.
I remember looking that up semi-recently.
I remember the calamari.
And I was
As
like,
soon as
that
I
is the
read
most
it, I was like, I
ridiculous
remember
thing.
that.
Yeah,
That's
like calamari. Come on. George.
Grillage Sakul. Or
What?
that's his name backwards, which is in one of the announcements.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Just spouting
Because
off
his
these-
Star Speeders
Yeah.
or is parked in the red zone or
in the
something
red
like
zone. That's so funny. That's like not even a thing anymore. That you never hear those announcements. They just like tow your car if that happens. They're
That's
not
right.
going to tell you about it. Well, that was a fun experience for
It
you
was a
and
lot
you
of fun.
alone.
Yeah.
While I was
Sorry.
at work all day. Oh well.
I wished you were there.
But yesterday I did something. I mean, it was fun. It wasn't like as fun as what you did, but it made me think of something. And we went to Beaches and Cream.
Ooh,
Melissa
that's a
from
good
Vegan
one.
Disney World, as you know, I run Vegan Disney Food. So
I
every
do know
month
that.
we do a group video review together, which is lots of fun. But I realized I hadn't done a video at Beaches and Cream anyway, and she hadn't been since they first reopened. But it was we were trying to remember how it used to look.
Very different.
Yeah, and it
was
has
so
been so
much
long
smaller than that.
I can't even I remember that there was so that I thought we could talk about this because I'm
Yeah.
like maybe Scott will remember.
I
what it looked
absolutely
like. And
remember.
I haven't Googled it or anything.
Vividly.
But-
There were 3 booths off to one side.
Yeah, so that was like where the door. Oh no, because they moved
No.
the doors too.
Where
right?
the 3 booths used to be, that's all gone now because it's from there that they expanded it out, and they kind of took over the
the
game,
arcade thing, but
the
there
arcade
is still an
gaming space.
arcade there.
A much smaller one.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Oh wow!
so and there
Look at this visual we have now. You guys don't have it, but
the
you can
the
Google.
visual that picture that you have up there makes it seem
Well,
a
'cause
lot
it's
bigger
taken
than
right
it is because they're in the
corner.
exact corner.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll see the 3 booths, and then there's a lot of the bar
it was
seating.
so small.
And literally just, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like 5, 6 tables
But
on the
honestly,
floor.
like, look at how much more fun it looks back
Yeah.
then. And I remember thinking this when it opened. It was so bland now.
But yeah, and that's the thing. It took a long time to get into
Right.
because it was
always crowded.
It was always crowded, But
they had
that's the
the
social media days for you.
Exactly.
Everybody's got to go. They got to
They
get their
had
picture taken with the kitchen sink.
The little bar stool area, which they still have.
That was a lot of fun. being
Yeah,
able
but
to
I mean,
sit
you
at the
could
bar.
usually
Yeah,
get in there even if you couldn't
That is true.
get a table. But yeah, and now they have outdoor seating too, which is just like pool chairs and weird, but it's actually part of the
Yeah.
restaurant. But if you're listening and not driving, you should Google Beaches and Cream before the remodel. And it's funny because they still have those same backs to the booths with the little beach balls on it, but the beach balls are like pastel colors, and they don't have
the colors aren't
the
as bright and punchy.
silly little hot dog wallpaper or anything.
Yeah, here's a picture of the current.
Yeah,
photos
it's just
now,
like
and it's very.
oh, so
I mean,
it's like
it's
a
still a fun
hospital
place to go, but
cafeteria.
it's just not. It's nothing's ever the same as it
No,
used to
I
be.
know, but I mean the food is, I guess, the same.
No, the food is still great.
So looking at this picture is actually a little bit insane for me because I have not been to Beaches and Cream like a ton,
No,
even before they remodeled it. But after they did it, I've definitely only been like maybe twice.
yeah,
So looking at this image, I feel like I've never seen this before.
Wow.
I know.
It does look pretty bad. In
We
comparison.
went once
No offense.
when it first reopened. I think you were with us then, and that was when Chef TJ was working
I went there for
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and he did like fun
that was awesome.
vegan stuff for us. But then,
TJ's fantastic.
Images of that, I'm sure.
yeah, and then the time after that was, I guess, because I was looking at my photos in my phone. It was in February of 2023.
I think we once went, just the two of us as well.
Maybe that's when that was then, I guess. But, and the food hasn't really changed since they reopened. But yeah, it's just another, that's what I thought it would be interesting to talk about other remodels that have happened. And we kind of just discussed this on a game that we were just playing, which you may or may not have already seen. Our little Up the Waterfall sideshows that are videos. So you can
Yeah.
watch us play silly games together.
That should be coming out the week that you're listening to this. If you're,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good.
If
So
you're
keep an
getting-
eye on that.
the day that it comes out.
Yeah.
Or your ear. Or keep your ear out too.
Yes.
For listening for that.
But one of the things I mentioned was I don't want to give anything away, but I said that one of my favorite restaurants in time was the Good
Yes.
Turn in the 80s only.
Can I be honest with you, by the way? I didn't want to interrupt at the time.
Yeah.
But now we're kind of chilling in the podcast. I have no idea what that is. The
Okay.
Good Turn. I've never even heard of that before.
All right. Well, then I'll explain it because other people might not know either.
What is
I
the
don't.
Good
I
Turn?
usually take for granted that people are the same level of Disney history nerddom
Which
that
is,
we
like,
are, but I shouldn't do that, I
extreme.
guess, because we do have people that listen and don't have that background.
Well, very few people
So, yeah,
have,
look at that,
have the
Christian. He's-
experience of enjoying all of this stuff from way back in the 70s and 80s like we did.
Exactly. A lot of people came to Disney in the 2000s or something.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. So Chris is pulling up the Good Turn. So that's what it was called when Epcot first opened. And it was very exciting because, as the name implies, the restaurant turns.
It
still does
rotates.
now. So you could, the same as you can now, like the Living with the Land hasn't changed other than, well, I guess it has.
There have been some things that changed, but the kind of the views
The
of
view
the
is the
of the
same.
attraction that
That
you get from the
portion,
restaurant
yeah.
are pretty much unchanged since 1982.
You overlook the weird little rainforest section, I guess, with
that's
the
right.
alligators, and you get to see the desert or whatever the buffalo area.
Yeah, not quite the grasslands.
Yes, the grasslands,
prairie.
with the buffalo and the prairie dogs, and then you go by the farm, the family farm with you hear the dog, and you hear the chickens.
That sounds so good. What the heck? Wow, that's spot on.
He's had 34 years to
That's
perfect
right.
his
I've been through
Epcot.
that farmhouse many, many times.
Yeah, but as you can see from just the sign, it's very 80s themed. Hold on, I'm losing
80s
my voice.
themed. I think it just happens to exist in the 80s. This looks more 70s to me. Am I wrong?
Well, yeah, I always...
It opened in 82. So
Oh, yeah,
But it was
with the
built
parks.
in the 70s, so a lot of the things that I refer to as 80s architecture and design are really 70s, I guess, because that's when they were designed and built. But basically, it's just brown and lots of browns and, like, I think brass colors, but...
brass, copper.
It wasn't... Like, the restaurants weren't super themed in Epcot.
No,
they
they
were,
weren't.
like, the space was the theme, you know? Like,
Exactly.
Coral Reef had the aquarium windows that you looked through, and all of the other things were themed to the restaurant, the countries that they were in and stuff like that. So, but anyway, it was also not character dining. I have no memory of what the food was, honestly, back then. You
And
didn't go, so
you know, our family only did quick service, so
Yeah.
I enjoyed looking at it, and I probably had, you know, the courage to actually kind of talk my way into it so that I could at least walk around.
Yeah, that sounds like you. But it definitely wasn't like a prefix kind of thing as it is now, along with not being a characters thing. But even the Sunshine Seasons, I'm looking at the soup and salad photo up there, was a lot better in my opinion
Yeah,
back then.
that I
too.
remember because it had all the different booths.
Yeah, it was kind of like a food court.
Very similar to a food court. Yep.
And you had like the baked potato section,
Yep.
and you had soup and salad, and you had like a barbecue section,
Right. Yep.
which I loved
went-
because
I went
sorry,
to
I ate
barbecue.
meat back then, but
I got
the
chili.
barbecue sauce tasted the way Rome burning in Spaceship
That's
Earth
right.
smelled, and it was like my favorite thing ever back in the day. And then it suddenly wasn't there. And at a brief moment, they had the handwich, I guess, in
Yes,
there as
that's
well.
right. They had the sandwich.
What are some other remodels that you can think of?
Well, one I can think of, at the Contemporary, the Family Fiesta, the Fiesta
Oh,
Family Fun
yeah.
Center, to the Wave of American
Yeah.
Flavors, to what is now Steakhouse.
Ooh,
I
now I'm in the mood
71.
for Steakhouse
very,
71.
very distant memories of
The Fiesta Fun
the
Center.
Fiesta Fun Center. Like, I think I
Wow.
walked in there exactly one time.
Apparently
and I would've
that's
been
all that it took.
Extremely
Yeah.
young.
And that was
And
a lot of
you've
fun.
experienced because they moved the arcade from there to
Up
the
until
Grand
the Grand Canyon
Concourse,
Concourse.
which
Which
has
itself-
moved since then also, right? It was down the other end and then they
Yeah.
moved it or something like that.
Yeah, so and a lot of course, the stuff on the Grand Canyon Concourse has also been
Yeah, because where it is
rethemed and-
now on the, like when you first walk in, it used to be stores. Because I remember walking through there.
Yep, absolutely. And things like the Concourse Steakhouse that was
Yeah,
up there.
Concourse Steakhouse. We've definitely eaten at the Concourse Steakhouse, Christian. You just probably don't remember it. But and Chef Mickey's, well, that's a whole other show in and of itself because that was originally at
At the
Buena
Village.
Vista Village Shopping Center
That's
or whatever.
right.
And I still have the red mugs from there to
That's
prove it.
awesome.
Yeah, so there was, I think, was the Concourse Steakhouse the only thing in that
No,
area? Was
no,
there's
not at
another thing?
I don't remember all. There was the I cannot remember everything that was up there.
There
but
was the Gulf Coast Room, which we've talked about
Yeah.
in our one of the episodes. I can't remember. Maybe it was like our first
then,
visits to Disney. I don't know.
And then also, the Top of the World restaurant
Oh, yeah.
being remodeled to the
California Grill.
California Grill. That's right.
Which I
saw a
think
lot at that
was when the California Grill first opened, it was amazing and great and everyone loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like it's just kind of gone by the wayside. Like you don't ever hear about it anymore
Yeah.
because it's become, since the reopening after 2020, it went to that prefix thing again, which I know
Yeah.
is helpful for Disney and the waiters that were getting people coming in the lounge area and just getting like a pizza and staying all night. But they got rid of all the lounge seating, so they solved that problem anyway.
They do have some bar seating, but yeah.
But it's kind of not as good anymore, in my opinion.
Sadly.
What are some other remodels? I feel like Kona Cafe has recently been remodeled, but it didn't really change that much that it changed like the whole atmosphere.
I mean, everything at the Polynesian, if you think back
from the beginning,
from what it was at the 70s, all of that, of course, has been redone as well, like the papiete and all of that.
Is there a restaurant that you have not been to yet? I feel like I've dragged you to all of them now.
I'm pretty sure I've now been to all of them. I can't think of any.
Interesting. I never went to Shutter's at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort before they remodeled that.
Okay.
And they basically didn't remodel it. They expanded the whole food court area, and then they built Sebastian's Bistro out on
which we love.
Yeah, now it's really good. I mean, I don't know. Shutter's may have been good. It was just never something that we ever bothered to.
It was nothing that I wrote to home about.
No, definitely not. Some other places that have remodeled a lot is over in the former Disney Village shopping area.
Oh, heavens, yes.
Eat.
All of that.
We still haven't been to Eat. I have to go there, but it has been so many different things.
Yeah.
I think the first thing it was after the whole Downtown Disney redo was Minnie's something. Minnie's.
I literally just read about all of this, including an entire list that Foxy had written up about
really?
everything that had ever existed.
Interesting.
At the old Village Marketplace and now.
Well, there was Heidelberg's Deli.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where Earl of Sandwich is now.
That's right.
And I don't remember what was in that one spot back in the day. It might not have been a restaurant, maybe.
No,
in the original time.
I believe there was a restaurant there way back in the 70s. And I think Minnie's.
Yeah, it was Minnie's something. What was it called?
But I just, my first visit was in 84, so. That is the exact article that I read.
Wow.
The exact
Look at
one.
This guy on top of it.
You just have to, it's the...
Do they talk about Chef Mickey's?
You'd have to go to the right letter, so it's going to be farther down the list. There's a map up at the top that shows which letter block it is. So it's...
Oh, yeah. Where?
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
that
right
corner.
there you are.
Like this?
Yep, that exact one right there. Yep. Chris is getting it.
Mini Mia's Italian Eatery.
Mini
There you
Mia's.
go.
Why could I not remember that? That would have been fun. They could have themed it to Mamma Mia now.
Ooh.
That's a popular franchise, isn't it?
That's also the original location of Pluto's doghouse.
Oh, right. So that's what was there before Minnie's was Pluto's?
No. Pluto's, that was way on the other side.
Oh, okay. Which was like an ice cream place or something?
Well, there was also the ice cream place, yes. So
it's been a while since I've looked into this.
There has been so many changes, including Goofy's.
The
like
Goofy's
Grill
candy thing.
Goofy's Grill. No,
I
even
see.
way
Goofy's
before
Grill.
Goofy's Candy Company. Yeah, so
it's
tons.
too many things to remember.
Yeah.
And
it
then,
depends on how far back you want to go.
Yeah. And really, if you listen to our Pleasure Island episode, we talk about the first third-party restaurant, which was, I don't know, was it Raglan Road? I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Oh, look at that. I honestly,
this is from Mini Mia's.
never went there, really. I mean, maybe I got
remember
like a pizza
that.
there sometime.
I remember that logo.
Yeah.
This is like the only image that exists.
Because, I feel like even the place that just opened, it's kind of like a cursed location because it's so far back.
There was the Wolfgang Puck.
Yeah, Wolfgang Puck
restaurant that was
Express, which actually had great food. Back when I was vegetarian only, they had like this butternut squash soup that I super loved.
That's right.
And they had like fun, unique Wolfgang Puckish pizzas and stuff, or flatbreads probably. But it's kind of just like in this spot that is so far away from everything else, unless you're going to Rainforest Cafe, which You're going to Rainforest
when it
Cafe then.
originally opened before Pleasure Island and all that, it wasn't
No,
wasn't all that
because
far away.
you could
But
walk
when they
to-
opened up Pleasure Island and then of course later the West End or the
Yeah.
West Side, sorry, yeah, that corner was the farthest thing from everything else. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it kind of is a cursed location in that way. But I mean, the way that all of it is kind of laid out now, something has to be at the very end.
Yeah.
So, what are
I
you
don't
going to
know.
do?
I mean, hopefully they do well there. I do love Indian food. We
Yeah.
really need to get over there and
It looks
try
fantastic.
it. But I've heard it's not doing super great.
Maybe it's the location.
It's cursed, I tell you. Cursed by the
But
ghost
anyway,
of the
I was
original
thinking
Chef
of
Mickey.
another redo.
Oh, yeah?
The over at the what is Saratoga Springs.
Oh, right.
What is now the restaurant there?
Turf Club.
Turf Club, and that, but then also the other one.
Oh, the Artist Palette?
Palette, yeah, and how that's changed. So both of those has gone through a lot of.
Is that where the Buena Vista Golf Club?
Yeah.
So there used to be like a...
Honestly, the Buena
restaurant
Vista
in there.
Golf Club itself has not changed.
Yeah. But they
But
had
that's
like
on the lower
a
level.
restaurant there
Yeah, they
because
had-
I went to brunch there one time when
Okay.
we would stay at the vacation villas.
Wow.
And we could drive our little golf cart up. They had like a circular drive
Mm-hmm.
thing, and we went in there for brunch. I think it was like included in our package or something
Nice.
like that. And yeah, I only went there one time. I have no other memories about it. I probably ate scrambled eggs. You
But
know?
that reminded me of something else.
What?
The old Empress Lily
Oh, yeah.
and everything that it's gone through. Oh my heavens.
I know. Does
Is it-
anyone even go? What is it now? Paddlefish?
Yeah.
Paddlefish.
I take for granted places that I don't go to anymore because there's not a lot of
Yeah.
vegan things.
Remember when
And
the
wonder,
Empress
like, do other
Lily
people go there?
When the Empress Lily opened up, there was probably maybe 3 or 4 different restaurants within that one shop.
Yes, because
They were kind of broken out.
yeah,
a
there
little
was
bit.
the I forget what it was called now. I think I talked about it in my blog post a million years ago, but the very upstairs was like called something.
The
The
Texas
something
Deck.
room. And it was like all gold wallpaper up there and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then they had the downstairs part was just where the character
Yeah, they had
breakfast
that was the first character dining location.
It's true, and I was there.
Aw,
Not the first one,
Yay. The one based on Melvin the Moose from Country Bear Jamboree.
but what?
That
No.
one, there was one themed around him as a
Really?
character. He had his
I
own.
missed out on that one.
Yeah.
No, when I was there, the Big Bad Wolf was there,
Oh,
and
wow.
Pluto, because there's a picture of Pluto licking the side of my face,
Sorry. That's awesome.
and the Big Bad Wolf. I don't remember any other characters there because I don't have pictures of them. Oh, look, I got one of those certificates
That's
presented
right.
to
You
me.
sure did.
It says Susie on it, and it had a name. I had a sticker they gave you. You could write your name on it. I don't know why they did that because
This one is presented to Craig with the worst handwriting of all time. No offense.
Sorry, Craig.
because why did they give us stickers with our name on them? Because it's not like Pluto was going to be like, "Hi, Susie."
Who even knows?
That's weird, but maybe there was face characters too, but I have no memory of them. There probably were. Probably Cinderella was there. Maybe
I don't know.
The top deck was called the Empress Room.
The
I don't know
Empress
if according to
Room.
this.
Yes, and I have dined there because my parents liked fine dining.
Ooh.
And I don't remember it. So maybe they didn't take me with them. No, I think they did because there's that picture of me, in the white dress. Have you?
Yeah,
I've shown you that
absolutely.
before. Where I'm standing on the other side, and you can see the Empress Lily in the background. And I was dressed up because we were going there.
Wow, the description here on waltdatedworld.com.
Yes.
This elegant restaurant was located on the promenade deck.
Wow.
Served continental 4-star award-winning cuisine.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the mahogany-paneled Empress Lounge featured a harp player. There were only
Fancy.
seatings at 6:30 and 9 o'clock each night.
Wow.
I think
It
that
has
was
the full menu here as well.
that was the Victorian Alberts of its day
It
before
was,
Victorian Alberts.
Yes. It's odd. Well, I guess they weren't together. I was like, it's weird that my parents didn't take me to Victorian Alberts. That was too late in history for that to happen. But we did go to the Gulf Coast room, which I've talked about before as well, which was only in like a weird ballroom at the Contemporary.
Did you go to the Top of the World as well?
I did go there as well.
Nice.
Yeah. I think. I'm pretty
Probably.
sure. Like, I feel like I remember that
And
show.
the Broadway.
Because I remember them doing, they were in all gold and they had gold
Absolutely.
top hats and they sang One Singular Sensation because Chorus Line was real big back
That is
then.
100% Top of the World right there.
Yeah. My parents took me to a lot of places that I was probably the only child at, but you know. And then, of course, after that, it became Fulton's Crab House and they kind of took out most of the charm.
Yeah.
And then Paddlefish even more so.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, because even when they made the paddle wheel stop, because it used to be that it would rotate all the time.
It actually moved, and there was water and everything, and it was red.
And now it's not.
Yeah. They did. Does it move now? I feel like Paddlefish.
It does not.
Oh, well, they took the wheel off, I think, for Fulton's, because they tried to make it be like, this is really a house. It's not a boat. And then I think they added it back for Paddlefish because we made a big deal about them adding it. But does anyone go there or do they just go to Boathouse?
I'm sure
I feel like,
somebody has to go there.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's been there this long. Right?
I mean, it's
I don't think I've ever been there.
To Paddlefish?
Paddlefish.
I don't. Well, no, Oh no, we took my mom
been there
there
one time. Yeah,
but without kids for some
that's
reason.
right.
It was like a Mother's Day experience or something, or maybe a Father's Day experience for you. I don't know.
I don't think it was that.
But I feel like most people go to the Boathouse because it's more social media friendly. Which is the case for most places. I'm trying to think
It's funny because you're eating in a boat. Isn't that way cooler?
Yeah, exactly.
And I've never had a good meal at the Boathouse.
At the Boathouse?
So
kind of me neither because
there you go.
They're not great with vegetarians or
No,
vegans.
they're not.
Boom.
We said
I was
it.
trying
that,
to think
Boathouse.
right now, is there anything left? Oh yeah, I guess when they redid it to Springs, Deluxe Burger is owned by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Owned by Disney?
Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar.
Which is a bar.
Amaret's Patisserie. And
That's
the
true.
Ganachery, which is not a
The
restaurant.
Ganachery.
I'm trying to think if that's it.
That might
Everything
be
else
it.
is like a third party
There are,
slash
there's like
chain.
including the shopping, like over 150.
Oh yeah, like in the town center.
Non-Disney, operating participants there at Disney Springs.
Oh well, there's those little shacks like the poutine. Is the poutine place still there?
Yeah.
And then the
BB
the
Wolf's.
sausage place.
BB
and then
Wolf's, yeah.
Swirls on the Water.
This is
right.
insane. There's so many places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
it's crazy.
a lot. And that's the thing. It's a fun place for people to go in the evenings, and there's tons of choices.
Yeah. I feel like someone could really come in and take over. Sorry, I'm like really pooping on paddlefish for a lack of better term there, but it could be so much more fun than what they turned it into, especially because Boathouse is there and kind of like competition because they're both seafood places for the most part. Boathouse does steaks also, but I don't know. I should be a restaurant designer, I guess.
There's a few things on this list that I don't know if they're owned by Disney. This could be a fun test
reel
for
them
me.
off and I'll know probably.
First of all, CityWorks.
CityWorks is a chain. They actually are not in Florida. There's more of them in like North Carolina or something.
Yeah, that's right. Not Disney.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The Edison.
No.
Oh, the Edison is not Disney? Is the one in California the same company or is it different? Because I know there was an Edison.
That's its own thing.
That's its own
No,
thing?
this is all part of the Patina group, with including the Hideaway.
I was just going to ask that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, although is the Edison part of that?
It's not the same thing because the people that run Maria and Enzo's are
Maria
like
and
actually Italian
Enzo's
people and stuff.
and the
but
Hideaway and then the little pizza thing. That's all one thing. So Edison is not lumped in with that. I apologize, but it is not Disney owned.
Yeah.
And operated.
And Jock Lindsay's.
Yeah,
that one is.
Jock Lindsay's is Disney.
Everything else on here, though, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Crazy.
There's so much. A lot of fun things.
Yeah. Something else that happened this week, maybe even today, honestly. There's been so much news lately that Disney is just like lightning lane and price increases on annual passes. And
It's hard to keep track.
so many things. Magic Keys reopening for sales. But one of the things that they announced yesterday or today, I don't know, my days are running together, is that they, you know how the DVC in Disneyland Hotel, that new whole area, Disneyland Hotel Villas, or is it Disneyland Villas? I don't know what they're called. Anyway, you know how they have the cool Steamboat Willie pool thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think I know what you're getting at.
yeah, so they announced a Moana themed.
No, they didn't just announce it. They showed it.
They did show it with an Imagineer next to it.
Imagineer was getting it all ready
Yeah.
for kids to enjoy.
Which-
over at the. So what is the location called?
Disney's Polynesian Villas and Bungalows, but
Fancy.
DVC edition. I don't know what it's called. It's a tower of some
In
sort,
the
right?
Fun Tower. That's right. Which a lot of
The
people.
Polynesian Tower?
By
I
the
think
way,
it's Island Tower.
Island Tower.
I
That
can
makes
talk
sense.
to you a little bit about this tower.
You can?
Well, not too much, because I don't know. I have not really looked at all the details that they have been spreading. But I was
haven't
just
either.
going to talk about this. A lot of people think that the design of the tower is like a little Gaussian, like way out there. But if you look at the original design of the Polynesian Village Resort before it was ever built,
Like concept art?
yeah, concept art from
Okay.
original Disney World that they were originally going to go with, there was very similar to this, a tower just like this.
Interesting.
Yeah. And if you were to look, yeah, that's the picture of it right there.
Oh, well, that looks like a pyramid.
It from one angle, yes, it looks like a pyramid, but it's
I see
a
the top of it.
multi-story tower
Yes.
that was originally planned. And the shape is a little different than what is being done now.
I see
but
how it could be like,
it was
look,
more
we did
than
that.
just longhouses
Right.
that they have now.
Interesting. I know you had said that before, but I did not look up the original. So now
Yeah.
seeing that, I do see it's the little top roof structure that he's talking about. That's interesting. I just personally, and I'm not going to be, bashing it, but I am, I guess. I don't personally like the color scheme that they have chosen. It's like just this weird mustardy brown that's not what this concept art that is now showing is at all. It's like very much more ochre.
That is possible,
Tan.
but I really will not look at or even judge a color until they've
I know.
opened.
I know. I will say this before we get back to the Moana thing. They talked about how there's going to be these little, I should have looked up, sorry, garden areas that are like in between the towers or something.
Okay.
Where, and they're like 2-story or more things that aren't like this is only the concierge lounge or something like that. Like you can just go in there and chill. And I think that looks really
I like
cool.
That,
That looks insane.
Yeah, like I
I'm
super
actually
like
really
that.
into that.
So that's a fun thing. And
I would
from
agree.
the looks of those textures and things in the interior, it does look great. So I'm hoping that there's like another paint coat to come on the back side. I don't know, because we only drive by the back of it. But the inside looks very modern, but island,
Yeah.
So I, like you,
It looks
will
like
give it the
more
benefit
of, like
of the doubt.
the Maldives than like
Interesting.
Hawaii,
And not
Yeah.
the Seychelles?
not the Seychelles.
Okay.
I feel like that pattern on the floor may be perhaps a nod to the original concept art as well.
Interesting.
How it's kind of like pyramid-y triangle looking things. But anyway, they announced the Moana thing, which is basically her on her little ship.
Which, this is essentially a children's, like a splash play
zone,
area.
yeah. And honestly, I feel like it's hard to do like a modern animated figure that I like because they just look, like plasticky and fake. But
But this one, I think, looks great.
I like the boat part, and I'm sure kids will love it. I think that the Steamboat Willie one is cooler just because it's like black and white and fun, but it kind of doesn't go with the rest of the design of that whole place at all. So, you know,
it was a choice.
I'm just being a critic right now.
I just hope that they enjoy it for what it is and they don't climb all over it and break it.
Oh, they will.
Which,
yeah, I remember the first time I saw this image, I was like, how is there not just going to be kids climbing all over that? And then, like, falling off the side of it and stuff. I feel like there's no way that ends.
Can you pull up the one that just came out with, like, the Imagineer standing next to it? I don't know if it's gives you the full shot.
Yeah, right there, yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's not it.
No,
no,
that
is it, yeah.
Interesting. So that's like, oh, okay, there's another one. Wow, look at the detail on her necklace. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess I perhaps judged it too prematurely because she's very large.
That's the thing.
I know.
Because we're constantly observing each and every step of the way.
And everyone has a podcast where they have to tell people what they think of
judge
things.
It. No, I'm going to wait until it opens.
I know. You're a very good company man that way.
Well, but also because a lot of people say along the way, oh, no, this is wrong. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like this. And then they open it and they say, oh, wait, it wasn't like that. That was
actually gorgeous.
That was
love it.
But that was just part of the construction process.
Right. No, that's why I haven't been ranting about the color of the back of it because I really am hoping they're going to paint it more.
Yeah. So,
but I could be wrong.
I'm going to wait.
Either way.
And hey, if at the end it's like terrible, fine, say so. But
we'll do a follow-up and say, it's terrible, everyone. No, I'm sure it won't be. I mean, I am one of the people that has, for the most part, really liked the past few things they've done here in Walt Disney World, like the Riviera. And a lot of people complained about the Riviera lobby because it was smaller. But I like it. I think it's cute and intimate, and it smells good.
I mean, it doesn't need to be big, I don't think.
And people don't like that there's not a lot of Disney theming, in quotes, inside the rooms. But I also was one of the people that said I liked that because I just want to relax when I'm on vacation, even if it's a staycation. And I don't need, Mickey and Minnie coming at me all the time.
I mean, that being said, you don't want to be in your room and say, wait, is this a Disney resort or is this a Hyatt?
No, I agree with that.
At the Atlanta airport, or something like that.
So far, I haven't stayed in one where I've thought that. Even when they redid Pop Century and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it looks like a hospital bed or whatever. Which, if you look at it in a certain angle, it probably does, but that's not how you're experiencing it. You're going to have the resort TV on and listen to, what's new and next. Yeah. And you're going to have the beds pulled down and see the Mickey pop art and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And if you walk outside, you're going to see a whole lot of theming there as well.
That's right.
But I recently toured the Grand Floridian updated rooms, and those are lovely. I really want. It made me want to stay there. They're all very subtly, like Chris just pulled up an old non-remodeled room, and it could be just like a Motel 6 basically with a Disney painting on the.
Look at this over here.
Oh wow, yeah.
Disney's best kept secret.
Aw. DVC. Yeah, I mean. It was definitely an improvement. And they're also doing things that obviously are cost effective and going to stand the test of time, fit more people in the room and still have space, like that folds up and becomes a table. And they took out carpeting because it gets gross and moldy and mildewy and, but anyway, back to the Grand Floridian. The design of those rooms is really just beautiful now. It's very light colored, so it's very relaxing, and it has a very subtle Mary Poppins theme, and I really loved it. So, and it's very not nice. Glaringly what should that be themed as,
exactly.
See how pretty that. I mean, I'm a sucker for
that's gorgeous.
Shades of blue and green like that.
And that, to me, even though it doesn't have characters left and right, no, that's still a Disney themed.
I do
room,
like
so
that
I like
they
that.
added the rug underneath the bed, because I think that does make a difference in a deluxe room, to have that when you get out of bed. It's soft.
Did I ever tell you my hotel room rug story?
No. Oh, wait, maybe you did, but I don't know. Which one?
A few years ago, I was in LA, and my friends and I were all staying in this hotel room, and we got there at like a normal time, and we checked in and the room was ready. So like we went up to the room, and this is such a tangent, by the way, but it's like such a stupid story. We got up into the room, and it was like totally fine, and we were chilling, and maybe like 15-20 minutes after sitting in the room for a while, there's a knock at the door. And we're like, oh my gosh, what is this? And someone working at the hotel is like, I have to bring this in, and they're holding a rug that's like rolled up, and like they just come into the room holding this rug and like unroll it in between the beds, and it's like, it's way too big for the amount of space in between these beds.
Oh, no.
So it's just like pushed up in the corners, and like it doesn't even fit there. And the entire rest of the time that we were there, we were just like making fun of this stupid rug. It made no sense. I don't know why they did that.
That's so bizarre. I thought you were going to say that
It was otherwise a very nice hotel, so it was like,
Yeah.
why are you guys like coming in and...
They didn't want you to complain about the lack of rug.
Yeah, we hadn't noticed that there was no rug.
I thought you were going to say they came in with a big fan, which we've had that happen before.
We have.
Where they like shampooed the carpets, and then they're like, oh, they're still wet, so here we're bringing this industrial fan into your room. I think that was like Beach Club or Yacht Club that happened to us. Fun times.
But another thing about having the hardwood floors is I don't like relaxing in your hotel room and then just hearing the constant patter of foot from the people who are in the room right above you. And anytime they drop their phone or or anything,
that is
like,
true.
Come on. And you're just constantly hearing footprint.
That
I
is true.
wish there was a way to insulate the sound.
I know.
Better for that.
And especially the newer rooms have less insulation in general anyway.
Yeah.
Like if you stay at an all-star resort, which why would you? But if you do, no, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to.
It's a good deal.
But those are like the cement block between each room, and those are not much quieter than if you stay at Pop Century.
That is true.
Yeah.
So that's...
I don't know why I think it's probably like an allergy thing and like the mildew.
I mean,
and
it makes sense.
You don't have to shampoo the carpets, so it's like
from
money
that
saving
aspect,
all around.
it makes sense, but... Ooh.
But we want soft, luxurious carpet under our little feet.
Each and every hotel room should be its own building.
Well, you can stay at a bungalow or a cabin and get that.
Tree houses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to stay at a new.
Well, we.
Oh wait,
stayed
no,
at
we did stay at the tree. When you said that, I was thinking.
Do you not
cabin.
remember when we literally
No,
stayed at the
I
treehouse?
loved that so much.
That was fantastic.
It really was.
Because that was.
I keep thinking about that.
That was like a
it was
very
just like
old
the perfect
school
time.
Disney.
We need to stay like a whole week though, because everyone was like running around. Like Sophia had to go to work, and you probably had to go to work also at some point, and I had to go to work, but I could work there because
it was a fun couple of days.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, it's just that's one of the few places left now that they're redoing the Fort Wilderness cabins that you can get that old Disney feel, even though they have remodeled them since the 80s where it was like a spiral staircase and shag carpeting, but they're still like old time, like the doors are still old, and you know, like the wood paneling and stuff like that feels old.
Yeah.
And
plus you're tucked away in between the golf course and
it
the
really
river.
is like a whole different vibe.
That's fun. Just being able to take that boat transportation.
Exactly. We were very close to the water, but we couldn't see it, I think, right?
Yeah, we were closer to the golf course, but we were... Yeah, if we wanted to take the boat, it was just a very short walk to the little boat launch.
And they stopped running at 7, I think.
Yeah.
So that kind of put a damper on things too. If we wanted to go to Disney Springs or something, we would have had to walk back.
But technically, Disney Springs was within walking distance too.
That's true, but it would have been a long walk.
A little bit longer than you probably would have liked.
Yeah.
Probably would have been the perfect amount for me.
I really liked the vibe of that place a lot more than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like, I just didn't know anything about it beforehand. But even just like where we parked our cars, how it was like so secluded and you just like walk straight to like your own little thing.
Yeah.
It felt very much like being in the national park and staying at like, some sort of small cabin.
It was very like our little Great Smoky Mountains
I guess
getaways.
Is possibly also true for the Fort Wilderness cabins, which I just haven't stayed in.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know.
I never have either.
The old cabins even?
I haven't, I've been in them. I've hung around, but I've never like...
I've never stayed there either.
What? How have I stayed there? Who was I with?
I do not know.
One of you have memory loss, I think.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I guess we did stay there that one time.
It's not me. Yay, I don't have memory loss.
Yeah, I now remember. Whoops.
But I thought we had like all of the children there at some point too.
I mean,
and you do have memory loss.
I truly don't think I've been there. I mean, I've been there. I've had like friends who've stayed there and stuff.
I can't believe I forgot about that.
We've just been to Trails End so many times that I guess everything kind of blurs together.
Old Trails End, that is.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's how I know. I've never actually like stayed there. I've just been to Trails End and like.
And back in the day, we could rent a golf cart even if we weren't staying there. So
What's
we did
the deal
that
with
a lot.
Why can you not rent them anymore?
Just because too many people were doing it, I think, and now.
Too many people are doing the thing that they offer.
Well, I think they would run out of golf carts or something. Maybe, I don't know.
I do not know.
Who knows why Disney does anything that they do, you know? But you can bring your own golf cart, but now you have to have insurance on it.
What?
Yeah. I do want to check out the new cabins, though. Like, I was very sad about them because the old cabins just look like Lincoln Log toys.
Yeah.
And they were super fun when we did stay in them, even if you don't remember.
No, I remember.
But the new cabins, I saw one video on them and I was like, these look terrible. I hate them. They're like gentrified Fort Wilderness and they're taking all the charm out of it. And they also did that to Trails End. So it's like a double whammy, if you will, of Fort Wilderness remodels. But then I saw...
Not to mention the upcoming thing, which I had totally forgotten about until I read about it the other day. The big hotel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did start
like,
up on that again.
Yeah.
Reflections. I don't know if they're going to name it the same thing or if that's like buried and they're starting over.
It's probably going to be something else.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, originally it was going to be Pocahontas themed, so I don't think that's still going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, originally it was going to be Buffalo Junction, but that was well before that.
That's like 8 million years ago. All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I saw another video on it, and it was done with a really great camera, and they focused on all these little details, and I was like, okay, I actually do want to stay here because, you know, I like Chip and Dale, and they're very cute. And so when they have the little fold down, the bunk beds were where there was cute Chip and Dale art. So for me, that was worth it. Like, I want to sleep on the bunk bed and see Chip and Dale. And they had, you know, a nice brand new stove in there. It was I do appreciate the comforts of home. We recently did a glamping thing in Yosemite.
That's right.
Which that's another whole story. But it truly was not Disney level glamping.
No.
There was no air conditioning. And as I mentioned previously, it was hot. That wasn't this video.
Unseasonably.
On the game show thing we did, I was talking about hot in Yosemite. So yeah, it was very hot. And bugs could just come in. So
all of that was fine, but it was just unseasonably warm.
Yes.
That was a little unfortunate.
The bugs were fun. We loved the bugs.
We did.
Anyway, I would enjoy going to a new cabin is the point of my ramble there. So we have to make that happen. I think it would be fun for my birthday, perhaps.
Interesting.
The crowd goes mild.
If that was a video, you would have seen a strange look I got from Scott for that. All right, well, we'll see. There's still time to plan. It's so far away, less than 2 months.
Gulp.
We didn't do that last year.
No, we didn't because they changed. You can't rent golf carts,
right.
and
we're
last minute
doing
planners.
The weird like car rentals and taking cars.
Yeah, we did do that. That's true.
But we just didn't do anything last year.
Yeah, we didn't because we're too last minute, and you can't be last minute anymore at Disney. It's just not possible. You got to be planner aheaders.
And I'm talking, of course, of going and seeing all of the fun decorations.
Oh yeah, the decorations, which. Yeah, we haven't done Halloween at all, and we used to do that because Gio's birthday is Halloween time, and my birthday is Christmas time. So
fun.
We cover all the bases, but we'll see if we do that this year.
Now you're not allowed.
I know. They don't want me to celebrate. All right. Well, that's probably going to round up our fun convos for this week. Let us know your memories of any pre-remodeled areas of Disney. I would love to hear other people's memories on that because we do go so far back and in time to things that some people might not know even existed. So let us know if any of this was news to you also. And what you think of these new spaces, new remodels, anything you think Disney should... Let's discuss what we think the new theme should be on the new, whatever it's called, over at Fort Wilderness.
Oh yeah,
we can do a poll maybe. I don't know.
Okay,
can we do polls? No answer from the control room. All right, we'll investigate. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and make sure you're liking and subscribing. Do you subscribe to podcasts? That's a thing, right?
I do.
Do I subscribe?
No, I don't mean you. Like,
do.
Does a person subscribe? That's how you. That's the term. It's not following. It's like subscribing.
It might be different from.
I think of it as subscribing.
Okay.
But
well, do the
Spotify,
thing.
Do both of them.
Okay. Do the thing where you press the button and you add us to your things, because that will be helpful.
And share it with a friend.
Yeah, share it with
us
a friend.
into your nest.
Yes, your nest. We love nests. Also on YouTube, you can listen to this with fun little graphics that our graphics guy made, and you can watch our deep dives as well. Those are our actual video ones and our little sideshows that we were mentioning as well. Speaking of deep dives, our next deep dive coming out the end of November will be on, drumroll, Tom Sawyer Island.
Oh my heavens. I have to do some research.
We talked about it briefly in our first audio podcast back, but we're gonna go deep, guys. We're gonna we're gonna dive. We're gonna dive into the island and dig for buried treasure
under the rivers of America and come up through one of the caves.
Yeah, so many caves to come up from. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you are subscribed and click all the buttons to do that so you don't miss out on that. And sideshows I talked about, the little fun game shows. Yeah, follow us on social media so you can see fun little previews and things like that. It's usually at Up the Waterfall Show on Instagram and etc. other places. So thanks again for joining us up the waterfall. We'll see you next time.
Bye now.